You're Yeah, let's pull a tree order at 6:32. Note all members present. We have Kevin Savard, Ed Burgoyne, and we have somebody else in line. Could you identify yourself, please? Hello, is there a line? Could they identify themselves, please?
Hi, sorry, we couldn't hear who you are.
Hi, this is Ben Burgoyne. I could call in on the phone. I don't have a speaker on my computer.
Approval of agenda.
Moved by Councillor Cannon, seconded by Councillor Hatfield. Resolved that the agenda for the Committee of Adjustment meeting scheduled for Tuesday, December 14th, 2021 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Motion carried. Number 3, announcements. Does anybody have any announcements? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item. 4, disclosure of pecuniary interest. Does anybody have any pecuniary interest? If so, please advise and state the general nature of. Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item. Approval of minutes, adoption of minutes.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Cannon. Resolved that the following minutes of the Municipality of Wawa Committee of Adjustment be adopted as presented. Minutes of a Committee of Adjustment meeting held on Tuesday, November 16th, 2021, as contained on pages 1 to 3, inclusive of the minute book.
All in favor? Motion carried. 6, no old business, so we'll move on to the new business. Approve the actions of the Secretary Treasurer. Motion for that.
Moved by Councillor Cannon, seconded by Councillor Chason. Resolved that the Municipality of Wawa Committee of Adjustment does hereby approve the actions of the Secretary Treasurer with respect to notification of the following applicant. B2/21, Mr. Raul Crack, for consent under Section 53 of the Planning Act to sever a lot measuring 12.5 meters by 100 meters from lines described as Plan 1R 11172 Part 2, Parcel 11460, and known locally as 683D Highway 17, located in the geographic McMurray Township, now in the Municipality of Wawa, District of Algoma. For the purpose of this severance is to allow for the owner to sell the new severed lot described as Plan 1R 11172 Part 2, Parcel 11460.
All in favor? Carried. 7.2, applicant for consent. ask Kevin to explain the purpose of this application, identify the recommended conditions of the application. Can you hear me, Kevin?
Oh, sorry, I didn't, Pat. If you can say the question again?
Okay, can I ask you to explain the purpose of this application and identify any recommended conditions to this application?
The application was to split a section of lot so it can be sold to the neighbor. So that they, because there's a, agreement between the two and they want to make it legal.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. Well, Mr. Crack, do you have any comments to add?
Splitting the lot. So I'm increasing, as you thought, I put in an application for increasing my compound. And if I was to go to the lines now, the property lines now, Mr. Villeneuve wouldn't be able to park his vehicles on their lot because I would be almost right up to his doorstep. So we come to an agreement that if we severed the lot, if it was allowed to sever that lot, then he wouldn't have to make an alternative route to be accessing his property. So basically, it was just to make it easier for him and easier for me. And having said all that, he's agreed to participate in paying for some of the compound. Basically, that's my reason.
We'll open to the floor for any comments from the members of the committee. Seeing none, I'll ask for Kathy to read the motion.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Cannon, resolved that the application be 2/21 submitted by Oral Crack, where consent to sever lot located at 683D Highway 17 be and is hereby granted for the following reason. No objections were received.
Okay. All in favor? Okay, we'll go to adjournment for this meeting.
Move. By Councillor Cannon, resolve this meeting be adjourned at 6:39 p.m.
All in favor? Great. Thank you. That's quick.
So we're all good to go then.
We're all good to go. You're welcome. Thanks for coming. Okay, give us a second. We'll move on to the special meeting. Dan, I'll call to order. I note all members present. Thanks for that.
I put 6:40.
Okay. Disclosure of particular interest. Any? Seeing none. Approve the agenda.
Moved by Councillor Chason, seconded by Councillor Cannon, resolved that the agenda for the special meeting of council scheduled for Tuesday, December 14th, 2021 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Announcements, you're giving them notice, there's none. New business. We, start with 6.1. Accept the mayor's resignation, declare the seat vacant. Resolution.
Moved by Councillor Cannon, seconded by Councillor Chason. Whereas Mayor Ron Rhodey submitted a letter of resignation from municipal council effective November 30th, 2021. And whereas the Municipal Act 2021, Chapter 25, Section 260 provides that a member of council of a municipality may resign from office by notice in writing filed with the clerk of the municipality, and a resignation is not effective, if it would reduce the number of members of council to less than quorum, and if the member resigning from office is a member of the council of both local municipality and an upper tier municipality, the resignation is not effective if it would reduce the number of members for either council to less than a quorum. And whereas Section 262 of the Municipal Act states that if the office of the member of the council becomes vacant under Section 259, the council shall at its next meeting declare the office vacant, except if the vacancy occurs as a result of a death of a member, then the declaration may be made at either of its next two meetings. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Wawa does hereby accept the mayor's resignation and declare the office of council as vacant effective November 30th, 2021. All the question?
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried. We'll move on to 6.2, process for filling council vacancy. Right?
6.2, we're going to ask council to discuss the process for selection of mayor. First,
Do you want to talk about
I'll review my report that I had
it?
prepared for council. So back on November 16th, I had provided council with a report on how to fill the vacancy of mayor. And I also indicated that currently we do not have any policies with respect to filling vacancies on council. So as you are aware, when there is a vacancy on council, we are required to accept the resignation of the member and declare the seat vacant, which we have done tonight. So we have two options for filling that vacancy. And the options are either we can have a by-election or we can fill that position through appointment. And my recommendation is that we fill the mayor's position from the current members of council. The other option is we could wait after we have filled a vacant seat on council to fill the mayor's position. Based on my report, I had recommended that council fill this vacancy from the existing members. So the current 4 members sitting here tonight. And if council is in agreement with that, then what we would do is I would conduct nominations for the position of mayor, followed by an actual election for our mayor. And if council is in favor of that, then that's how we will proceed.
You're speaking of, yeah, all council members have to wait for the new council member to come in.
Not necessarily. We don't have, council has that option to choose to select from its current members, or it can wait till we fill the vacancy on council, which could bring us to possibly the end of January. And this is just for the mayor's position. Yes. Well, if council is in agreement, we can conduct that nomination and election process tonight to fill that vacancy for the position of mayor. And if council is in agreement with that, I have a motion prepared.
Motion to ask for show of hands to,
Oh, Mr. Mayor, we did not have a motion. I have a motion prepared for the next item on the
Okay.
process. This at this time is for discussion with the members of council to decide on its process.
yeah, any discussion on the process of selecting a mayor in All council members?
Not great. Just select from the members of council present.
You know, one person left that.
Yes.
Had to do this process.
Yes.
That could be, if it has a policy from your own.
No, we would have to write a policy and have it formally adopted by council and adopted by bylaw. One thing, though, I failed to mention is that if we go this route and we decide to have nominations and election from within, members can self-nominate as well. Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Well, the councilors have the decision to decide how it wishes to fill the office of mayor. I would like to open up the floor to members of council. Look to your right, and look to your, and allow the councilors opportunity to speak, and look to the left and let councilors can speak. Any questions or answers right now? Thank you for that. Through the process, we've done
So I do have a motion.
motion. Next one.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Cannon. Resolved that the Council of the Corporate Municipality of Wawa does hereby direct the clerk to conduct an election to fill the vacancy for the office of mayor.
All in favor? Carried. I would like to turn the chair over to the clerk so that she may open up the nominations for selection of mayor and then conduct an election to the office of mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I'd like to open the floor for nominations. Yes, Councillor Hatfield. I nominate Hatfield. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Do we have any further nominations for the office of mayor? I'll call for a second time. Do we have any other nominations for the office of mayor? I'll call for the final time. Are there any other nominations for the office of mayor? Hearing none, I'll close nominations for the position of office of mayor. Deputy Mayor Tate, do you accept the nomination for the position of mayor?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor of the nomination? Okay, thank you. The motion carries. So I'll move on to the next motion to fill the, with that one. To appoint acting Mayor Pat Tate as mayor. So I have moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Cannon. Resolved that Councillor Pat Tate be appointed to the office of mayor for the municipality of Wawa for the remainder of the term, being from December 14th, 2021 to November 14th, 2022. All in favor? Okay, I'll turn the chair back to the mayor. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. So where are we now? We're on.
6-6.
6-6, yeah. Are you? Okay, there. Approve the process for election of deputy mayor. I will ask the clerk to review the options for the filling of the vacancy of the office of the deputy mayor.
So in my report again, thank you, Mr. Mayor. In my report under date of November 16th, I did provide council with its options for the filling of the position of mayor and councillor. However, I didn't really indicate for the filling of deputy mayor other than this brief summary that I provided this evening. And what I would recommend is that we have two options available to us, which would be to appoint a current council member for the remainder of the term of council, being from December 15th through to November 14th of 2022. Or we have the option to rotate the position amongst all members of council. And the schedule that I have proposed is that Councillor Chason, being the second runner-up in the last election, that he would be the deputy mayor for the period of December 15th through March 15th of 2022 for a period of 3 months. And that would be followed by Councillor Hatfield for the period of March 16th through to June 15th. And that would be for a 3-month period, followed by Councillor Cannon. She would fill the deputy mayor's position for the summer months, being from June 16th through to September 15th of next year. And then the new councillor, whoever is selected through whatever process council chooses, would fill for the remainder of the term until the new council is sworn in on November the 15th. So that would be for the period September 16th through to November 14th. And that would be my recommendation, is to use the rotation schedule.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Kathy. So we have a decision to decide how we wish to fill the office of deputy mayor. I'd like to open up to the floor. Any discussion from any of the members?
I have to say that the part of 3 months, fantastic idea. Gives every council member a chance to sit and see what's going on. So in my personal opinion, I adopt the 3 months. I like it. I really do.
Kathy, what if in that 3 months, there's 3 months you can't go, can you automatically ask anybody else to step in, or does it have to go through a process? Like CPAC is waived for something when I'm there and I have to be away.
So what would happen is at that meeting that you're absent and the mayor is absent, the 2 remaining or 3 remaining members would select an acting mayor for that meeting only. You're welcome. And that's in accordance with their procedural bylaw.
Is it possible for, say, when my 3 months is coming due and to the new counselor, if I don't feel I'm ready for it, what would happen then?
You could speak with the mayor, and the mayor would bring that matter back to council as a whole, and they can decide how they wish to fill that 3 months, whether they would ask another member to take on the additional or split that period of time up with the remainder of the members.
Good in that? And that's the idea, to give everybody an opportunity. That's what I wanted, so. So I agree with the recommendation of the clerk and appoint the deputy mayor on the rotation schedule. All in favor?
Could I read?
Leave the motion.
Yes, you're too quick tonight. Thank you. So moved by Councillor Cannon, seconded by Councillor Chason. Resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Wawa does hereby direct the vacancy of the office of Deputy Mayor be filled through appointment from the existing members of council. And further, that the office of Deputy Mayor shall be filled on a rotational schedule as follows. For the period December 15th to March 15th, Councillor Bill Chason. March 16th to June 15th, Councillor Mitch Hatfield. June 16th to September 15th, Councillor Kathy Cannon. September 16th to November 14th, the new appointed council member.
All in favor? Okay. 6.8. Process to fill the office of councillor. Councillor Craigs received a staff report from my clerk and would now ask her to provide us with the options available and for the process to select a new councillor.
So we have 2 options to fill the vacancy on council. First one would be a by-election, which is not recommended. And the second option is by appointment. So with an appointment, we have various options available for council to consider. They can appoint the next runner-up from the 2018 election, or they can call for applications from the public to fill that vacancy. Or they can just appoint any member of the public it chooses without doing a call for applications. It would be my recommendation that council put out a call for applications. The timelines would be that we would advertise for the period December 15th through to January 13th. Then on January 25th, we would have a special council meeting strictly to appoint or to select or interview, select, and appoint a new member of council. And that would be my recommendation. If council is in favor of that, I do have a motion that which would state that, first of all, we would appoint through or select a member through appointment. And secondly, that council would accept the procedures that we developed for the selection of a candidate for the office of councillor.
Discussion? Councillor.
I've been in council, I wasn't on council, but I've been in Valerie. The last time this happened, we went asking applications.
Yes. And I can go through that process if you wish, very quickly,
Yes.
if council would like. So I have prepared an application form, which the members of the public would have to fill out. And what that form just states is that they meet the eligibility requirements, one being a Canadian citizen, the second being at least 18 years of age or older. And thirdly, that they reside or they are an owner or tenant within the municipality, or a spouse of an owner or tenant within the municipality. So part of the application process, they would file their application by the deadline being January 13th. And then at the special meeting of council, those individuals be given an opportunity of 10 minutes to address the members of council on why they should be selected and provide their background. Following that, councils would have an opportunity to ask a question that you would ask, like you would develop that question on your own, and you'd be given that opportunity to ask that member of council. The other members of the public that have applied for the position will be sequestered to a separate room so they don't hear what the presentation is, nor the questions presented by council. When that individual is done, we would take them out of the chambers, bring them to another room. The next member would come in and they would follow the same. Following all of that, the clerk will call on council to vote. Yes, and it would all be done publicly. And then, sorry.
I was involved with one of those meetings. I thought it was theirs way to do it. And get the chance to ask the questions and to the members. And that's the idea back then.
I was on the other end of that and being asked the question, not that I didn't think it was fair or anything, for council to ask certain questions for certain candidates, as long as maybe they get the same question. Each of them have a chance to answer the same question so that they're not different questions, and that we vote in front of candidates. That we don't sit in a room like we were and don't know how council voted. I didn't like that part.
And I would recommend that we
Yes.
do not do that because it's not permitted under the Municipal Act to do that.
That's the recommendation.
That everything be done publicly. So after the candidates have made their presentations, the questions have been asked of those councillors, the clerk will call out each candidate's name, and the members of council will vote to support for one member with the show of hands. The member with the most votes will be selected. However, if there's a tie vote, then the one with the lowest vote would be dropped off, and I'd call a vote again for the second. If it's a tie vote again, then we'd go to a tiebreaker, and that tiebreaker would be broken through the selection by lot, which would be pulling basically the name out of a hat.
With the clerk, the council adopted procedure prepared by the clerk. I'd ask the clerk to read the motion.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Schaeso. Whereas the Council of the Municipality of Wawa accepted the resignation of the mayor through resolution SP 21020 dated December 14, 2021, and subsequently declared the seat vacant, consistent with the Municipal Act, Section 262. And whereas Section 263(5) of the Municipal Act requires the council that it must fill the vacancy through appointment or declare by-election within 60 days of the declared vacancy. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation, the Municipality of Wawa, does hereby choose to fill the current council vacancy position consistent with the Municipal Act, Section 263(1)(a), and further that such appointment shall be subject to the following: that the subject person of any appointment shall be eligible to hold the office of a council member according to the conditions imposed under the Municipal Elections Act and the Municipal Act 2021 with respect to a candidate of any municipal election or member of council. B, the appointment would be offered through an advertisement in the local media, and the successful candidate selected through a procedure developed by the municipal clerk and adopted by council. And further, that this procedure to select the candidate through advertisement in the local media shall be consistent with the principles contained in both the Municipal Elections Act 1996 and the Municipal Act 2021, and must be both accountable and transparent.
Terry? With respect to the adoption of the procedure to fill the office of council vacancy, I would like to confirm that council concurs with the staff recommendation. The city council will consider a motion to adopt a procedure to fill the council vacancy through the open call for applications for appointment. May I have a mover?
We just did that motion.
Oh,
Sorry.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
we just
I'm
did
just
that.
looking
I'm
at these
sorry.
ones. Sorry, my apologies. Just looking through these ones.
Okay. There's no other business, a special meeting then? I'll close the meeting. Nancy, read the motion.
Moved by Councillor Cannon, resolved that the meeting close at 7:04 PM.
All in favor? Three. Wow. Lot of people. Okay, we're gonna move on to corporate finance, right? Call this meeting in order at 7:05. Note all members are still present, they haven't left. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Does anyone have any disclosure of pecuniary interest? None. Go to approval of the agenda.
Just need a mover.
I'm gonna move it. All in favor? Okay, delegations, presentations, seeing none. Move on to adoption of the minutes. Adoption of minutes. Mover for that? Mover. Councilor Chiasson. All in favor? Motion carried.
Good.
Business arising of the previous meeting. Seeing none, move to the next item. New business. Predator control results for December 2020 to March 2021. We got Mr. Ben Bagoni online. If you want to speak to us, predator control results, please go ahead and speak, Ben.
Good evening. We had our most successful predator harvest year last year.
And we're getting a lot of feedback, and we're wondering if you could move a little bit further away from your computer.
Is this working better?
Yes, that's much better. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So we had our most successful year last year. We harvested 3 coyotes, all from the golf course there. We added some safety measures. We added signs that we can put up to make sure anybody walking dogs definitely knows that we're in the area. And the township also added further signage to the areas that we hunt in. Overall, with the community, we've had positive feedback from the community. We had one disagreement, but it definitely was resolved in a positive manner.
And I hate to interrupt you. Could you try and speak up a little louder, please?
Yeah, exit full screen.
Go ahead.
Select the microphone. Ben, are you still on the line? Because we seem to have lost you. Could you try to call back in?
Well, perhaps, Mayor, on behalf of the group, they did submit a report, and I think Mr. Burgoyne was sharing that in 2021, they were successful in a hunt of keeping 3 predators away from the community. There were some limitations because of COVID, lower than average snowfall, and mild weather conditions that caused them to only do 1 hunt on Wawa Creek due to the creek only freezing for a brief amount of time. There were some coyotes observed in the area, and there was 1 escaped pet that was killed when there was a coyote attack on Superior. The public response, I think that they were just sharing that they put signage warning predator control hunt in progress whenever they were doing hunts. There are certain agents that they are asking council to consider tonight to appoint, I believe, Kathy, to March 31st of next year, the new predator.
To December 31st of next year.
Okay, sorry, to December 31st of next year. Some approvals for the hunt area and those who are permitted as predator control offices within the municipality. And in conclusion, in their report, they highlight that coyotes and wolves are still present in the community and won't be eliminated totally by predator control activities. So their largest limitation on control efforts is a restriction on the number of tags that they have available. However, they feel that they are reducing population levels and keeping predators minimized as much possible. So I'm reading from the group's report for council.
Or did they talk about the live crop? This year, crop in the animals?
I don't have any specific information, but from the data that I saw, no, they had some issues with the liability insurance. They were not able to get insurance. That was reported to council some months ago. So there has been no discussion that I'm aware of using a live trap.
So there's special insurance to trap the animal live compared to shooting it.
Yes, and it would have to do with how the animal reacts
Yeah,
and the risk
the
involved.
main part of it, yeah. Okay, I guess we lost them. Any questions on that report?
I could just tell you that I experienced that being on the signs and everything being out when I was going to go to dump road, the old dump road. And it said to us that we could not go in till 9:30. Please stay away. We just wait. They were there.
So, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Burgoyne did just indicate that they're not able to get insurance to be able to live trap the coyotes. And because they're not licensed trappers. And secondly, there's the possibility that they may catch people's pets. And so that's another reason why they're not using the live traps.
They say in their report that they've had people that have crossed behind the sign and everything. And they said that they announce it before they do it. Can you ask them where they announce it? Like, is it on Wawa News? Is it on the radio that they announce it beforehand when they're going to be in that area?
Thank you for that note, because I put that in my notes to wonder if they do more media stuff in the community to let the community know that this hunt is being done during these months.
So Kathy's typing Peter or Ben, and we'll wait for his response in writing. I can only read from the report that they put large signs plus public notifications by media releases are placed on the municipal website. That's all that's noted in the report, but perhaps Ben will supplement.
Go ahead, Councilor.
Are they telling you that we're getting new hunters this year? Is that, did I read that in the report, or is it going to be the same bunch that were there last year? Is there new people?
Didn't mention in that report.
I'm not in this report. I
Okay, no, I
don't
just
know.
was wondering.
So I can tell you that Mr. Tedesco had requested an additional hunter be added. However, it's a new hunter, and we have requested that that additional person not be permitted in this controlled predator hunt, because they're just learning to hunt, and we don't want this to be an area to practice. We want them to be fully licensed hunters.
Yeah, that's.
With respect to your question, Ben has indicated that they definitely could have further media presence. Signage is put up during the hunt, and they stay out during the signs are up stating that there's predator control being conducted, and it's usually performed before 9 a.m. during the open season.
Okay. Any other questions? Thanks. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Okay, we'll move on to Mr. Dan Beach report for October, November.
I'm just gonna be short on this one. So October and November are when capital projects all ended for the season. Our operations went from working on sidewalks to getting ready for the winter months, putting on winter equipment, getting everything ready. One thing I'd like to add is that we did hire a assistant director for infrastructure. It's a young lady from Orangeville. She will be starting in the second week of January. She has engineering experience and working with a lot of, she has worked with a lot of municipalities and other contractors.
That's pretty awesome.
It is.
It is.
Questions?
Any questions? It's short, quick one.
Yep.
The lady that's hired, will she work mostly in the water treatment plant? or-
No, she hasn't. Does have water experience, but it's engineering.
Okay, I was just-
One more question for you, Dan, on the new employees you got.
Yes.
Who's training them on the equipment? Heavy equipment?
The senior operators,
Snow plowing, the whole works.
snow plowing operators, and myself.
Any questions for Dan? Thank you, Dan.
I
Oh, sorry, I didn't see your hand. Okay.
We have that, received that letter about the snow removal. And what are you gonna do about? Can I ask that question?
I think you're talking about sidewalks?
Yeah,
We're gonna go into that.
Oh,
next
yeah,
one,
that's
see.
the next item.
sorry, Dan.
You need to talk to that later.
Yeah, we know, so good.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to 7.3 then. St. Augustine request for sidewalk snow removal. We've got an email from the school looking to have a few more sidewalks plowed around the schools. So Councilor Cannon, if you want to,
No, I
What's
will
your
let him
question
talk
for me?
first.
no,
Then he might answer my question.
okay, we'll get, either way.
Okay, I'll just brief you on this. In 2014, Transportation System Winter Control Plan was made up by directors, operators. We do a plan. It's street by street, block by block, turn by turn of sidewalks that are plowed, sanded. It's also run by like MTO standards, the amount of snow, sand that we put out, when we plow, when we sand, everything like that. The sidewalks, when we do the sidewalks or when we add sidewalks, it's recommendations by council. It's people that come in and ask for sidewalks